Hello, and welcome to my beginner's guide to Destiny 2 characters stats. Your Guardian has 6 stats, and it's important to understand them because by favoring some of them, you will be able to build around your favorite traits. Since I want this to be a beginner's guide, I'm not going to go in depth into the details. I'll just give you quick recommendations. We have mobility, resilience, recovery, discipline, intellect, and strength. While all 6 stats have equal effects on all 3 classes, Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, the first 3, mobility, resilience, and recovery, each favor a specific class and therefore enhance some of its attributes. Mobility for all classes influences your base movement speed, mainly walking speed and initial jump height. This means mobility doesn't affect sprint speed or jump abilities. It's also the stat tied to the Hunter class ability because it governs the Hunter dodge cooldown. So if you're a Hunter and you want your dodge to come back faster, you should build into mobility. Resilience for all classes is the stat that influences your shield durability, your flinch resistance, and your damage reduction. So if you plan on engaging in difficult content, build into this stat. As of October 2022, having max resilience is the meta for difficult content because it gives a damage reduction of 40%. It's also the stat tied to the Titan class ability because it governs the barricade's cooldown speed. So if you're a Titan and you want your barricade to come back faster, you should build into resilience. Recovery for all classes is the stat that influences how quickly your health and your shield start regenerating. This means how long it takes for health to start regenerating, and once it does, how fast it regenerates. It's also the stat tied to the Warlock class ability because it governs the Rift's cooldown speed. So if you're a Warlock and you want your Rift to come back faster, you should build into recovery. Discipline influences how fast your grenade recharges. Intellect influences how fast your super energy recharges, and strength tied to how fast your melee ability recharges. Now, these stats are given by your armor. Each piece of armor gives you a certain amount of points, except for class armor that gives 0 points. Not all pieces of armor have the same stat distribution, and that is the reason why every time you change a piece of gear, your stats change. You might have noticed that some people have golden borders around their armor. Those are pieces of armor that have been masterworked, and that just means that they have been fully upgraded or unlocked all energy slots. Because once you do, it automatically adds 2 points to all the stats of that single piece. Now that includes class armor. We said class armor adds 0 points, but once it's masterworked, it will add 2 points to all the stats. And to understand how these affect your abilities, you have to know that all these stats have 10 tiers each and are counted by points. This means that when you add up all the points from all your armor, you reach a total. And that total determines your tier. It's worth mentioning that there is no benefit into building past 100 because tier 10 is the cap. So if you have, say, 120 points in a single stat, then you are wasting points. As an example, if your discipline stat is anywhere between 50 to 59, then you have tier 5 discipline. And the cooldown is the same in that range. That means if you are 50 or 51 or 52 until 59, it's the same exact cooldown because it's the same exact tier. If you have 30 to 39 in intellect, then your intellect is at tier 3. If you would change a piece of gear and that would increase that number to 40, then your intellect will go from tier 3 to tier 4. As you can see, my discipline is maxed out at tier 10, and when I change this piece of gear, my stats change, and so does my tier, so now my cooldown is longer. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask any question in the comments, or you can also contact me on Twitter or find me streaming on Twitch. Thank you for watching.